If you want to win some free PSN or Xbox gift cards, all you gotta do is be subscribed to my channel, drop a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Also, if you guys want to get your hands on some cheap Master Prestige accounts for any Call of Duty games, check out DigiZani. The link will be down in the description, and make sure to use code GOBLIN. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. In today's video, we are going to be watching some Vesper 2017 gameplay, and also talking about the Vesper, about this gun's history, and about where it stands at in the game right now, along with the class setups I would recommend, and also some tips on how to aim this weapon. So if you guys could all drop a like on this thing, 2,000 likes would be absolutely amazing. If you guys could smash that, I know you guys did on the last video, so I'd appreciate if this video could also hit 2,000 likes. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new as well. We're now over 720,000 subs, which is absolutely awesome. I hope everyone, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and let's talk about this. So this is the Vesper. I haven't talked about this gun a lot since probably last summer, even before last summer, because the last time that this gun got nerfed was about August last year, so just over a year ago. Since then, I don't think this gun has been touched up at all. However, it still changes positioning in the game because, of course, they're introducing new guns that are like this, new SMGs, the PPSH and the XMC, most notably, of course, the 74U as well, and the HLX. But I would say that the XMC is probably one of the best SMGs in the game, as well as the PPSH sort of fits in with this Vesper. So when the game was in its prime about a year ago or over a year ago, this gun was the best gun in the game. It had little to no recoil. They ended up nerfing it, buffing it, and then nerfing it again, and the main issue they focused on every single time was that recoil. This gun was the best gun in the game at the points in the game's life cycle where it had no recoil. Right now is one of the times where it has some of the highest recoil, even with the grip on it, and that's why I think this video is necessary, because I think this weapon, and I'm even guilty of it myself, even though this is literally like my favorite weapon, I overlook it now just thinking, well, this one has a bunch of recoil. What we forget is that this thing still has pretty much the best hip fire in the game and pretty much the best up close damage, melting people at the rate of how a shotgun player would melt people, and that's why this gun should not be overlooked and should be talked about more, and other stuff like that. So first of all, let me give you guys some tips on how to use the Vesper in 2017, how to make this thing an aimbot. Now, there's two different things. The first thing is to do with the hip fire. This gun has super good hip fire, so one way you can play with this gun and make it feel like an aimbot is using that hip fire at more close ranges with a laser sight on it. That is one way to play the game. In my personal class setup, I don't include that because I find that all these perks and attachments that I use are necessary, but if you're playing a more up close and personal game, you could throw on some stun grenades, throw on that laser sight, and the hip fire with that laser sight is absolutely incredible. Now, the other way that to make this gun aim really well is you have to know the recoil. And the bad thing about this gun, it has a lot of recoil. The good thing, it's very predictable recoil. When like a gun like the PPSH in World War II, that gun, the reason why I didn't like it as much from the beta is because the recoil was unpredictable. Sometimes it would go to the left a little bit, sometimes it'll go to the right for a little, and then to the left. The Vesper is very predictable. It goes straight vertical recoil and a bit to the right. So how I play against this is how you might be watching this gameplay and be saying, how come it looks like your Vesper has little to no recoil? And the reasoning for that is because every time I'm shooting with this thing, and this definitely takes a lot of practice, you have to be playing the game a lot to be able to master this. But when I'm shooting, I'm also pulling down on that. I'm also pulling down on my aim stick so that with the recoil carries the gun up, I'm countering that by pulling down a little bit. And it does take a while to master. You're gonna have to play at least like probably 10 to 20 games with this gun. With other guns, it's nice, you just pull the trigger and watch like the M8 how it decimates them. This gun can be one of the best guns in the game still, but you have to use these tips and you have to be able to counter the recoil like that. And that's why when you watch Pub Stomper or competitive professional players on Call of Duty, a lot of times it looks like their gun has no recoil. The other reasoning is, of course, I have grip, and you 100% have to have grip. Without grip, you might say, it has recoil anyway, so why run grip? But without grip, you can't even pull down. The recoil is like twice as fast going vertical, so you 100% need that, and that leads me into my class setup. So for the class up, I'm running 3 attachments on this gun in 2017. Now, like I said, you can run the laser sight, and that's for more of a Russian hipfire setup for that. Personally, this is what I use though. I like to run it with the fast mags, number 1, because this gun is one that you have to reload after every kill, and it's just a quick click to reload when you do have fast mags on. So that's why I'd 100% go with that. Second attachment, I think you guys all know, of course, it's going to be the grip. Like I said, never ever use this gun without the grip, because the recoil is its number 1 counter. And number 3 for me would be quick draw. Quick draw is not as necessary because this gun does already aim down sights super fast. For some reason, it just aims in faster. Like guns like the VMP and the Kuda, at one point, this is a fun fact some people might not know, they had their aim down sights time nerfed. So they aim down sights slower than when the game was first released. However, the Vesper never had that nerf, I don't think. So it sticks up and it does still aim down sights fast. However, with quick draw is awesome. If you don't want to run quick draw, that's a perfect place for you to replace it with either extended mags or with the laser sight if you're into more hip firing. That's what I would say for that. As far as the perks that I run with this thing, they're pretty standard. This class it up, nowadays, it's only useful on very small. I would say literally only use this gun, the Vesper, on probably like a map like Breach, Stronghold, Combine, Nuketown, you know, maps that you're going to be close in a building with people. Something like Stronghold would be perfect, and that's why it's still a popular gun on Nuketown. You just have to really be able to slip through the middle and keep those gunfights close range, whether it be you know, in the backyard or in the bottom section. But for these perks, this gun is made for being up in their face, for getting a bunch of, you know, stun grenades are going to hit you up. You're going to walk over trip mines, and that's why I go flak jacket and tactical mask, because this is still the up in the face rushing. You can't sit back at all with this gun. It's not like the VMP where, hey, I'm on a streak, let me sit back and get these last 1 or 2 kills. This gun, you're all in. This is the Vesper. You're up close the whole time, and you see me when I move through the middle of the map. I'm usually just G sliding off of the thing. I'm not spending time posting up in the middle of the map like you see how I normally would play Nuketown. I'm sliding right through because I know my gun and I know how to play with it, and that's the only way you're going to succeed with this weapon more than others. It's kind of hard to use, right? So flak jacket, tac mask. Then it comes down to, I have 2 second perks, which of course are going to be the first one, fast hands. 100% you need to get your gunny up really fast, so fast hands is pretty much required for this thing, as well as you probably will be running out of ammo even with the Scavenger on, because sometimes you can't find those Scavenger packs. So, you know, fast hands will allow you to pick up another weapon, swap to it. I think you guys saw in the first round of this gameplay, I was running around with the HVK, but look at how I'm using my movement, and I'm sliding through the middle every single time. That is how this weapon needs to be played in 2017. It's not like the old days where you could sit back with a no recoil machine gun and melt people. And now my second perk, that's kind of a tongue twister there, will be Scavenger. Of course, like I just said, I do have Scavenger. Sometimes it isn't enough because you only start with 30 bullets and then 90, so you start with 120 in total, which for the Vesper, that can literally be 4 or 5 kills if you're spraying this thing, and that's why you need that. So how do I think the Vesper racks up in 2017? Do I think it's the best SMG? No. Do I think it's the worst SMG? No, I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the worst. I think it's somewhere there in the middle. What is tough about this one is you really do need to be able to control the gun and to know the gun to play with it. And that's sort of unique because in most Call of Duties, it's like you just throw on a gun and, you know, the guns have little to no recoil. It's not like you're playing CSGO where you have to know recoil patterns or anything like that. But that's where this gun has another level of skill. If you can master that recoil pattern and master the movement to go around with it, you have the best gun up close, aside from, you know, probably aside from the Marshall 16 pistol or any of the shotguns in the game. Of course, those are shotguns or melee weapons, of course, are going to be the best things up close, but you have the best SMG up close, the best hipfire in SMG, which definitely is a big thing to have, especially, you know, on those maps, like I said, where you're going to be in those tight situations. So it just takes a matter of time. Don't expect in your first game to be able to know how to control the recoil. It's something that it's for more advanced players, I would say. Now, if you have trouble with it and you're losing a lot of gunfights because of that, there's no reason to continue to rock with the Vesper. Of course, the most reliable SMGs out right now are the XMC, the VMP, Kuda, Weevil. Those are all reliable SMGs, and they just play a different, you know, you basically give up fire rate and the ability to melt people for the ability to have consistent recoil, which is not a bad thing. It just comes down to personal preference, how you feel about both the guns and how you can control them. I kind of think this Vesper was over nerfed. I wish it did have a little bit less recoil because it is kind of ridiculous, but when you realize how fast the fire rate really is on this gun and how quickly you can make double kills seem like single kills because your bullets are absolutely shredding the enemies, you can sort of realize why it was their concern to nerf this thing, because it is sort of that weapon that if you let it, give it a little bit of recoil, people are still going to use it and they're going to find a way to counter that recoil and still make it the best gun, if not, one of the best guns in the game. So that's why I think the over nerfing was done. It did take them literally like 5, 6, or 7 patches to get this thing down right. So it was kind of crazy, but they haven't touched it for a while, and I think that's because it's sitting on more of the lower tier of the totem for SMGs. But if you master that playstyle, you can definitely make it a good one for you. So drop a like on this thing if you guys made it to the end of the video. Let's go for 2,000 likes. That would be absolutely awesome. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Sub for a cookie, and don't looky. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace.